We have a start in the women's first varsity race. Princeton, making good use of the first 5 strokes, is out to a 1-seat lead over Radcliffe. Cornell and Columbia working efficiently about 3 seats back. Through the breakage zone, 200 meters into the race, Princeton maintains a 1-seat lead over Radcliffe, 7 seats over Columbia, and about 8 seats over Cornell. "250 meters down, Princeton and Radcliffe, going stroke for stroke, have just shifted down to their base cadence. Princeton and Radcliffe are still, Princeton squeezing out to 2-seat lead over Radcliffe, 6 seats over Columbia, and they've just broken open water on Cornell. Princeton rowing 37 strokes a minute. 3 seats now over Radcliffe, rowing 35.5. Radcliffe 6 seats over Columbia, rowing 36.5. Columbia 5 seats over Cornell, rowing 35. Princeton still squeezing out, now has 6 seats over Radcliffe. The boats were 139 flat through the 500. Give you an idea of the heavy conditions here on Lake Carnegie this morning. Princeton was 139 flat, Radcliffe was 140.5, Columbia about 141.5. The crews are in the second 500 now, and the wind is picking up. Princeton continues to move bit by bit, now has about an 8-seat advantage over Radcliffe. Columbia has moved back level with Radcliffe, and Cornell is hanging on to Columbia and Radcliffe's sterns. If anything, the wind is getting stronger in this second 500. Coming out of the northwest, but wrapping into the course and just quartering a bit off the port side, but giving these women all they can handle. Columbia making a nice move now over there in lane 1. Columbia has drawn even or slightly ahead. I'd say Columbia is moving the best right now, and Columbia is even getting back onto Princeton's stern just a bit. Princeton calling for a push here, and it's working. Princeton gets back off the bows of Radcliffe and Columbia, and as they come through the 1,000, Princeton comes through the 1,000 in 3:29. Columbia is next through the 1,000, practically dead level with Radcliffe in 3:36. This is where the conditions will really challenge these women. Third 500 here, the wind is going to start coming more from the port side rather than straight down the course. It'll challenge the coxswains, pushing them to starboard side. Princeton doing well with that. Radcliffe doing well with the steering. Princeton now continues to maintain slight open water advantage over Columbia. Columbia and Radcliffe are pretty close for second place, and now Cornell is coming back into the picture, rowing very well in the third 500. Cornell is drawing level with Columbia, making a good push here as we come through the 1250. Cornell has drawn level with Radcliffe and Columbia. It is very, very close race for second place. Princeton now rowing 33.5 in these pretty heavy, windy conditions. It's gusty now in the third 500. Radcliffe rowing 34, and Cornell coming off that push now, rowing 34. Coming through the 1500, Princeton maintains about 10 to 20 feet of open water over Columbia, Radcliffe, and Cornell, who are deadlocked for second place. Princeton comes through the 1500 in 5:23. Columbia is just next. Columbia is second place by a deck now. As we work to get a better angle, Princeton still about 20 feet of open water over Columbia. Columbia now solidly in second place, 3 seats over Cornell and Radcliffe. Now in this last 500, the wind is coming almost directly from port side. Not quite straight across, but more of a crosswind now than anything, and the wind is picking up and it's gusty. Columbia still maintaining a 3-seat advantage over Cornell and Radcliffe for that second place position. And everybody seems to be moving back on Princeton here. Let's see if Princeton can make one last push as they wind it up for the line. 200 meters to go. Princeton still with about 5 feet of open water now over Columbia. And Columbia 3 to 4 seats up on Cornell for second. And Radcliffe and Cornell are deadlocked for third place. Bow ball to bow ball. Radcliffe and Cornell racing for third place as Columbia still continues to squeeze out for second place. It looks like it's going to be Princeton by about 10 feet of open water. Back to Columbia. Columbia 4 seats over Cornell and Radcliffe. Too close to call. We'll see the flag here and give you some times.